Hey Aviva, this is a great experience. Thank you for coming out. Wanted to ask you a couple questions. And it's your first time on a podcast?
Yes, it actually is.
Okay. Are you a little nervous?
Not nervous, just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I guess.
But you're gonna be hanging out with a lot of girls on this one. I think there's like more girls than anything on this one.
Yes, women. That's what we're here for.
Yes, absolutely. So let me ask you this question. You run Bikini Fitness Club, owner of that. You excited about all that? I mean, you got a lot to talk about, right?
Yes, I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of things to explain about the business, how it works, why I even started it.
Excellent.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about.
One last thing is, are you a native of Las Vegas?
I'm sorry, what is it?
Are you from Las Vegas?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So you were born and raised here?
No, I'm from Israel.
Israel?
Yes.
Nice.
I came here 5 years ago.
Nice.
With nothing, and we're going to talk about it. But yeah.
No excuses.
No excuses. No.
All right, so I want to say thank you for coming on. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Hopefully you are very comfortable out there with all the ladies, and you guys enjoy.
Thank you.
The changing landscape of the housing market in Las Vegas requires a real estate professional that understands how to get your offer accepted, willing to go above and beyond for service and accountability. Hi, my name is Dan French. I've been in the real estate and financing industry for over 13 years. Most real estate agents struggle with answering their phone. Please call me directly, 702-557-6176. I'm available for all your real estate needs.
Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
And what's going on, everybody? This is Dan French. This is the French Workbench podcast. I have a full studio of women. Thank God, right? I am in heaven right now.
That's why you wore pink, right?
That's right. I had to wear pink today.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you guys don't know what this channel is, it's the most real behind-the-scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs, which we have today going on here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French. And I have a co-host here, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce Shannon Miller. What's up, Shannon?
What are you talking about?
Shannon Miller.
What's going on?
Shannon, how are you today?
I'm doing really good. It has been a crazy, epic day, but I'm glad to be here with all these ladies, these beautiful women. These are like powerful.
You were on
ass
hiatus,
women.
huh? Where did you go?
I was not on hiatus. I am allowed, Dan, to go enjoy myself. So I went for the weekend to Park City with a friend, and it was much needed. But I will say, anybody that is driving to any part of Utah, just know that add at least an hour to your drive with the construction before and after Mesquite. It was atrocious.
Why? What's going on over there?
No, they shut it down. So yeah, they have construction, and it's been going on for a really long time, but it's down to one lane in two sections. So you get caught once and then you get caught again. So it took us almost 8 hours, eight hours to get to Park City.
You have to go around, get off on Mesquite, because I have a timeshare or a thing out there.
Thanks a lot for telling me prior.
You didn't
I appreciate that,
call
Calisi. I might unfriend you after that comment.
Get off on Mesquite and go around.
I might actually unfriend her. But it was almost 8 hours to get there. But it's beautiful. If you haven't been to Park City, you definitely get to go. It was wonderful. We had so much fun. And it was much needed, and it only took us 7 hours to get home.
Nice.
So that was good.
Wow.
And then we stopped. We stopped for a while. Yes.
We have a familiar face. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
How's life?
It's great.
Traffic? Like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy,
I get it.
crazy.
I get it. So what's going on with you? How are you doing?
Well, I guess I've been dealing with this crazy appraisal gap in the real estate world.
Oh, do explain.
Yes, explain.
Yes. So basically right now, the appraisals are coming in lower than what everyone's bidding on the property. And we have very few to begin with. So we
Challenges.
in the end of this big gap that can be very large where the buyer has to come up with the cash. So
Are most of your buyers prepared for that?
well, I prepare them for that, but no one's really prepared, and it's kind of like different. This market's been a little different, challenging.
It's
I
a little
guess.
funky.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is you really enjoyed your spot last time you were here, right? It was like last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really liked it. I mean, you enjoyed it. So you're running for office. I know I'm not going to get into detail, but what is that you're running for again?
Public administrator.
Public administrator, and you're also a real estate agent, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have like a? We'll talk about that in a little bit.
With a law degree.
Yeah, with a law
come on,
degree.
This woman is epic. Don't let her fool you.
Right?
We're going to talk about it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we also have. We're going to introduce both of them at the same time, but we have Calisi and Aviva, and Aviva is our guest of honor today. I want to ask you guys, ladies. First off, thank you for coming. And what's going on, Felicia? How's life with you?
Calisi.
Sorry, I don't want to say Felicia. Did I say Felicia?
You did.
He's trying to say Felicia.
Yo, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye,
You should
Felicia.
have been like you mispronounced. Bye, Felicia.
I think Felicia sounds better. I don't know. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I like Calisi. Go ahead. Different.
Same, just working,
Yeah.
doing brows, doing lips,
Doing
tattooing.
your deal.
The good things.
Yeah, work.
Crushing
Always
life.
good. Yes.
Yeah, and you're very much an entrepreneur. We talked about your situation. So how's business doing? Everything's been going pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, COVID, I did really, really well. Right now, it's slowed down just a tiny bit, but still, I'm busy for 3 months straight is when I get, booked out. So that's always good to have that that backup, knowing I have work for 3 months. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Get to relax a little bit.
So when you leave, I'm going to say, bye, Felicia. Right.
Yeah, we changed my name.
Will you please? That would be
He loved my
wonderful.
last name. Now he changed my first name.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
All right, our guest of honor, Aviva. How are you today, Aviva?
Hello, I'm very good. How about yourself?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for coming on. I wanted to, first off, thank you for coming in and talking about your experiences and what you go through. I want to talk a little bit about, your challenges and where you really came in, because you said you're from Israel.
Right.
So explain how all this happened where you're in Las Vegas.
So I came to Vegas 5 years ago with literally nothing. I had the Bikini Fitness in my mind for 9 years. It's been created when I was in Israel working at a gas station, actually.
What?
And I did my degree in fitness and nutrition. And I was at the gas station just writing on a piece of paper how I'm going to name my business when I'm going to move to United States. My friends thought that I'm crazy. They're like, yeah, right. Okay. And I told them, like, no, I'm going to do it. So I came here 5 years ago. I had no clue how I'm going to do it, but I knew that I'm going to do it. Fitness, it's a big passion of me. Me, myself, I lost almost 80 pounds.
Wow.
So you were 80 pounds heavier.
Right.
Get it.
Yes.
Get it.
So what made you want to get into, obviously there's challenges with that, but like what motivated you to get in that really good shape that you're in now?
So I went with a couple of my friends to try on some bikinis.
Yes.
And we went to the fitting room. I took a bikini and I just looked at myself in the mirror and I felt terrible. I was 21 years old. I'm going to be turning 30 soon. And I felt like I always covered myself in the pool, at the beach. I never felt comfortable in my own body. I always used to say like, well, that's the way I am. I have happy bones and like that's my body shape, but this all was like bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was excuses because I didn't want to get up and work. And I remember that day I just sit in the fitting room crying that I don't like what I see in the mirror. And the next day, literally, I changed my life. I did a lot of mistakes in the first year. I had no idea what to do. I did like endless cardio. I eat like lettuce and egg whites only.
Basically starvation diet.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Because I really had no clue. And that's why it's so important that people that are getting introduced to fitness, they're going to know that they don't need to starve themselves. Like they don't need to get on the treadmill for 2 hours a day. I thought that if I'm going to lift some weights, I'm going to get bulky. And I was afraid of that. And that's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Yes.
So is that what made you go and get an education
Yes.
and a nutrition background? So what is your certifications?
So I have a certification from Wingate. It's an international school in Israel. So I took the course there. So there it's longer than here. Here, like you can get certified as a trainer like
in no time.
Yeah, like literally
overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a year to do that there because they teach you a lot. But to be honest, my experience, that's what taught me the most.
Yeah.
So experience working with people, working with different body types. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone should have the same meal plan, you know.
Yep.
Different things affecting different women. As women in general, we are so different from each other, like hormones, basically everything, like our body
I would have
type.
never guessed that.
Oh gosh, you be quiet, sir.
I think
that's important to hear because there's so many people that are venturing into the entrepreneur world and they think, okay, well, I have to have a degree or have to, and you just nailed it. You can go get the degree. I mean, Dan, I'm sure that you can relate in the sense of you get that license and you go through the course, but it is really in your experience with different people. And that's how you grow to be an expert. It's when you're in the field and you're actually doing it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
I think too, you have to have motivation, right? There's got to be a purpose.
Yeah.
Right. You got to come to a position.
Purpose.
Yeah.
You
It's
hear
like,
that?
wait a second, I got to change. And then, a lot of times when you go through whatever craft, like, I don't know if you did blading before you actually created your own job. You did probably, right?
I did I did makeup, just makeup. So I knew I had an art for it, but I took it to the next level.
See how that works?
I was hungry for more.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. You branched to something else. Like for you, you had real estate, right? You did the same thing. You probably started younger and you're like, I'm going to work on a team, get to know what's going on. And then you jumped on by yourself and did it yourself, right?
Yeah, it's all about like what you enjoy doing. So when you enjoy what you do, you go for it.
Right.
Yeah. It's passion.
So
exactly.
you're working in a gas station in Israel.
Yes.
Okay. And you're writing out a business plan and coming up with a name. So from that,
people make fun of you.
Oh yeah.
Along the way, and you just need to stay focused and like believe in yourself and know that everything, like you're capable to do anything that you will set your mind into.
Yeah.
I
That's
had
beautiful.
like literally no money. I came to United States with $40 in my pocket.
No.
Yes.
I feel like most stories start like that. I had no money.
Yeah.
I was struggling. And it's like I had to do something because my story was the same.
My life collapsed. And then, so you came with $40 in your pocket. When did you said 5 years ago?
Yes.
5 years ago?
5 years ago, yeah.
And then what happened? How did this all transpire?
So I already lost weight like in the beginning before I came here. I was already a trainer back in Israel. I had a better relationship and I packed my shit and I'm like, United States, like that's where I'm going.
I'm out.
Yeah, and I literally took two suitcases and I had no idea where I'm going. I had no idea where I'm gonna live. I had no friends, no family, no one. I literally came for a company. I used to work in sales. And it was terrible because I hated it.
Yeah.
But that's how I survived my first year. And I dedicated myself to make money in the first year. So I just stopped working out and I gained 30 pounds again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was devastating for me. And then I came to Vegas and I said, well, I need to go back in shape, I need to like remember why I came here. So I went to LVAC and then I went to the section of the weightlifting.
And you got hit on, right?
Oh
So
my goodness gracious! Did you really just go down? That's
Guys
the rabbit hole that you want to go
they
down.
go to gyms like that so they can hook up. Everybody
is
knows
why
that.
We're not males, but we don't do that.
This is why she built Bikini Fitness, because she was tired of being hit on.
Can I ask a quick question? Because I want to hear why you decided and what, like you gained that 30 pounds and then you're like, oh shit, this is out of alignment with why I did this.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Vegas of all places though?
To be honest, I just came for a vacation. I was about to quit and to go back to my country.
Yeah.
And before I quit it, I took my parents. They came to visit me. I used to live in California, and I brought them here just for like a vacation. And they were begging me. They're like, you haven't accomplished anything in your first year. Like, go back with us to Israel. Go back home. Like, you have nothing here.
Right.
Just go. Give up.
And then I told them I have to try one more time before I leave. Like, I have to try it. I feel that this is my place.
Yeah.
I feel it.
So that's how Vegas happened.
And my parents left me here, like they went back to Israel, and I had no home, no car, no job. I literally went the next day. I lived in Circus for like a week and a half.
Wow, what was that like? You lived at Circus. I bet you saw a lot of strange things walking around Circus.
There's so
right?
many inappropriate things I want to say right now.
To be honest, the rooms are not that bad.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that they have like that old water smell. Like, you know how when you go and it's like you go to
feet.
No.
I heard dirty feet.
No, I'm not joking.
I'm
like,
not joking.
Like, you know how when you go
Cigarettes.
on the, it's like the smell when you go on like maybe the Splash
standards
Mountain.
were lower back then.
I have a feeling they probably were.
I think they were.
She's like, I have a bed. I'm good. I'm good.
So I just went and like looked for someone to hire me in this same sales thing that I was doing. And then I found a car from there, and then I met someone, and he hooked me up with like someone that like I rent the house from.
Right.
So I was just like,
So when you were going through these processes of trying to get to where you need to be, right? When did it click in your mind that you said, "Hey, I want to open a business, or I want to do this"?
it happened after a couple months. I trained girls like at garages, at gyms. I just trained them one-on-one. So I had like 3 clients, and their results were phenomenal.
Really?
Yes. And they were like, holy shit. And I was like, holy shit.
I'm actually really good at
Yeah.
this. That's
And
great.
then like their friends came, and they're like, oh, can you train me? I'm like, yeah, can you train me? And then I had like, I think 7 clients. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the scariest move ever, and I'm going to rent a place. It was near the stratosphere. It was like bad location.
Right.
Really bad. Like I had homeless people on my door every morning.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, excuse me, sir. But that's how I built my business. So from word to mouth, I didn't have money to invest in advertising, nothing, literally from results of my clients.
Good
Right.
for you.
And they used to drive all the way from Summerlin to the Strip to train with me.
Yeah, because you had the
Nice.
results.
Yes.
You had proof of concept.
And
It
I
worked.
was so I'm so passionate about every one of my clients. I'm gonna give her my heart and soul. They used to text me when they're out in a restaurant. They used to text me like, "Oh, can I order this? Can I eat this?" I'm like, "Yes, this one. Ask without the butter." Like I was very, very into everything that they do.
Yeah.
Tell them where you're at now, though.
Yeah, what are you doing? So you start there.
Started from the bottom, now it hit.
Yeah. Where are you at now, and how have you expanded that? And what has that been like for you, especially too coming from a different country with nothing? You're living at freaking
Literally.
circus, and anybody that lives here, we all laugh because
I
we're
actually
scared.
never told this to no one. I think not even
Not
You
even me.
just
Just
told a
told
lot of people.
Yeah.
But so you take that. Okay, now expand on that. So what happened for you to explode, and where are you at now, and what are you doing?
So right now we opened our second location, but we closed the first one because everyone preferred to go to the nicer location.
Yeah.
So our location is on Fort Apache. I have the size of the studio is 4 times bigger than what I used to have there. In the beginning, my community was only Israeli girls because like
Right.
they didn't have any connection to any other community.
Right.
And now like we're slammed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a little easier too, right? I mean, if you have, and nothing wrong with it, but people of your background, right, of where you're from,
Yes.
to kind of get started, and then it
Yes.
branches out.
Well, that's
but,
with everybody.
right,
And when you start
correct.
a business, it's your community that you start with.
Right.
And then you
Right.
and then word of mouth, because if you're good at what you do. So do you have other trainers that work for you? What does that look like?
Yes, I have 5 different trainers.
Wow. Good for you.
Yes, and I need 2 more. So if you are a trainer and you want to join,
Ah,
Nice.
Come on.
we
come
are
on.
hiring. Yes, so I have 5 trainers. Like I told you, a certification is not enough, especially here.
Mhm.
So when they come, I do train them because I have a program that I developed especially for the female figure, sculpting the body, because it's like training women. It's not the same like training men.
Right.
We want a little bit different, like we want to touch in different areas. Most of the girls don't want a big biceps and big quads, and that's what most of the trainers are doing at the gyms with women, men. So we focus more, we work on the whole body, of course,
Right.
but we focus a lot on glutes, hamstrings, back, shoulders, to create this hourglass figure. And
Yep.
if you're going to look on our Instagram page, there's all type of bodies, and everyone kind of
Is that the
starting to look the
same?
same. Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you do so? Obviously, weight loss and toning and getting healthy and helping people through that process is important. But do you do now? I know because in the name it's Bikini Fitness. Do you do competitors? Do you train competitors?
So I don't do a lot of girls that compete.
Okay.
But I did had like 2 clients, 2 girls that compete. They got amazing results. Me personally, I don't think it's very healthy and it's not a lifestyle.
Think or no? Let's be real. I competed. Let's be real.
It's
not
mess
healthy.
up your hormones. You can get really depressed. One of my clients actually told me that her first show, she got suicidal.
Yep.
She was
Really?
like, it was.
Oh no, it's no joke.
Is it? I mean, because
It's bad.
well, the mood swings, right? I'm not saying that.
No.
But it's not.
No, as women,
I'm not
we
trying to bring that up.
we
I'm
need
just
to
saying.
have carbs and fat enough.
Yeah.
I see.
And then you don't have period.
Yep.
And that's messed
It
up your
ruins
hormones.
your hormones.
Wow.
It literally ruins you. I like TMI. I competed and I was nationally ranked. Like I did well competing, but the problem was that in order for a woman to truly compete on those stages, your body fat has to be so low
That it's
that
not healthy.
it's not healthy because we're supposed to have a higher fat percentage in our body. And you lose your period, and all of that. Like it took me years to get back on track. It took
Right.
me years. It's really bad.
That's why I'm not a big pro of fitness competitions. It's nice to say like, hey, I competed and here's my picture.
Right.
Amazing. But what happened after that? You know?
Exactly.
I'm all about lifestyle and how to change habits for women.
Sure.
And that's how they see long-term results, not crush diets, not starvation, not running on the treadmill all day.
Yeah.
Just make this journey fun and something sustainable. This is the most important thing, because if it's not sustainable, if you're not enjoying the journey, it doesn't worth it.
And you have food products, you said. Is that right?
Right. We
Tell
work
us.
with a nutrition company, and we actually opened a nutrition cafe that called Too Good, because it's just too good to be healthy.
Right.
If you're gonna try it, it's amazing. Like, you're not gonna believe that this is part of my client's meal plan. We have high protein shakes with packed with vitamins and minerals, low sugar, low carbs,
Nice.
low in fat, and they're delicious.
I'm coming.
They're so good.
Yes.
I'm 100% coming to try it. I want to try
So
it.
I have some questions about this, and you
I
guys
was gonna say, I have
go
a
ahead.
question.
You have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah.
So is most of your training like one-on-one or is it like class type of
So
training?
we have both. We have personal training one-on-one, and we have group classes. Our group classes are up to 12 girls, so it's pretty personal as well. It was important for me not to make it very crowded, because for me, the form is the number one thing. If your form is shit, you're not doing anything. And if your form is completely shit, do personal training.
Right.
That's how I feel. But the group classes are very motivating. The environment at the studio, it's like disco lights and like
Oh,
neon,
fun.
Yeah, it's
neon
fun.
pink lights.
Nice.
And like a mic, and I'm screaming, I'm slapping them. It's a fun experience.
Oh, I love being
On the butt.
slapped.
You should come.
I love
She's
being
not,
hit.
I'm
It's
slapping
my
them across the
favorite.
face. On the butt.
She came to one of my classes. She was actually pretty good. She's strong.
Really?
Oh, I
I
believe
hate
it.
working out, and I should never say that, but I just don't. You know how she's on that gym forever? I've been there once.
Once,
And
literally
did you
once.
enjoy it?
And I get the
though?
family discount,
But
and I
did you
still don't
enjoy
go.
it?
Nice.
I do love it, and I was very proud of myself because she is tough.
Yeah.
But I was very proud of myself. I was sick afterwards. I was like, oh, I can't do this. And the next day, I had
you
like my
did
arms
it.
were
You're
stuck like
broken.
this. I was like, I can't
You're
move my
broken.
hands.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had me at slap my ass, so I'm done.
Right. Right. So let's ask this question about getting started, right? So I think a lot of people, how do you get started in a gym? Like what is the process of, I'm going to, start and find a spot. I'm going to invest money into it, and just do you believe that you're just going to, hey, no matter what, I'm going to finish it? Because a lot of people quit before they actually get to see the results, right? The
Right.
fruits of your labor. So talk to us about how you got started and what some of the challenges were.
First of all, I can tell you that my first year, I didn't got paid. Basically, I paid the bills. I didn't have a paycheck. And people ask me, "Do you thought about quitting?" I'm like, "No, never." Like even when I had
Nothing.
no money, I had a business, but I had no money for myself.
Right.
I invested every single dollar that I had for my business. If it's like a new machine, if it's like new bands, because I see it as an investment. I think that you need to have a really like big balls to do that. Not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think most people they need to be very calculated in the beginning, like maybe to sell memberships before they open to make sure. I didn't make sure. I didn't make sure. I just did it, and I'm like, fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I can say fuck
Well,
it.
it's no, you can.
Balls, so
I mean, you already said big balls.
Yeah,
So,
you talked about balls. So.
Beep, beep.
I really love you. You're
Yeah.
even better.
I saw all the ladies' eyes perk up when I heard big. No,
Yeah, because you know what? Because you have to have them in order to do what you've done. So you went the first year not being profitable in the sense of, having a paycheck and money for yourself. Everything's going back into the business. A lot of people aren't willing to have the balls to go through that. So when it started moving up, like, what was it like bringing a team on and bringing employees, and how did you structure that for it to be successful?
So in the beginning, I was I wanted a paycheck, So I'm like, I worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Get it.
Without even like a lunch break. I used to like drink shakes, protein bars in between, and I'm like back to back to back to back from, it was 9 a.m. till 9 p.m., 6 days a week. And then I'm like, okay, for it to be more like doable and for me not to burn out, I need a trainer.
Right.
So I hired a trainer, and then it didn't, like after a couple months, people don't want to work. Let's say, like people are not gonna.
Now we're gonna talk about lazy people.
All right, we're gonna talk
the
about
show
this.
is shifting.
Because we've discussed this before.
Yeah.
It is
It's true.
a hard thing to find people who are dedicated because it's not
Exactly.
they don't have the
It's not
drive
their
you do
business.
because it's not their business.
Exactly.
Right.
So it took me a couple trainers to switch and to see what I'm looking for, because in the first year and a half, I saw what I don't want.
I
in
love
trainers,
that.
Okay, this one I don't like it because of this. And eventually people are trying to also copy you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that because a lot of people
Yeah.
they let's be honest. I mean, how many people have gyms or work out, and it's a very not oversaturated, but it's a very hard business to kind of cut your mold into or cut your
Yeah.
teeth into.
Just like real estate. It's
Real
the same
estate,
thing.
lending. I mean,
It's the same
everybody
thing.
thinks it's all abundance and everybody can find a realtor or lender. And listen, it's because I think you put yourself out there, and it's an easy transition to become a real estate agent, lender, or become, I wouldn't say being owner, but to work out and be a trainer. So what separates you and your company from the rest of the other companies? You know what I mean? What makes you different, I guess?
The women's all.
Yeah, it's first of all, it's the only place for women only.
Okay.
So
Is it the
yeah.
only place in town?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So women don't need to get discouraged and afraid of going to a regular gym and some dude is gonna look at their butt and or like criticize them or like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing, because a lot of women, they give up before even seeing results because of those kind of things, because they're super embarrassed to go and like to figure it out, so we give them the guide. Our prices are very reasonable for what we give. We combine this with nutrition as well.
Yeah.
So it's
So
like
you're
a whole
giving
guide for
meal
women.
plans too.
Everything, yeah.
So the actual whole package, because you can't just go work out
Right.
and think you're going to get all the results, because a lot of it's
Because
in your diet.
when you register to a gym, when you sign up with a gym, you pay like an amount and that's it. Like you can go, you cannot go. No one really cares about you. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And
That's the
with
hard part.
us,
It's like when you go,
Accountability.
like getting there is the hard part. Like you can get there and you can work out, but just driving there and be like, all right, I got to mentally prepare. Getting in the car and driving is the hardest part for me.
Well, when you
Right.
have people to hold you accountable,
Yeah.
and you have that team where you know
Yeah.
you're going to show up,
Yeah.
and you have other women to support you, that is motivating. Like, 'cause
Right.
then you build in the discipline.
Also, with the time, the girls are really enjoying the community that
Yeah.
we've built there. So
Friendships.
yeah, so it's not just I'm going to work out. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna meet her and her and her.
Yeah.
And like the girls come and like, oh, how's your husband doing? Like,
It's more
how's your
personal,
dog? Yeah,
more family.
They know each other. Also the personal training, like it's a empowering community for women, and I feel like women need it. Also, when you're paying money and the trainer is waiting for you, you cannot not come. And if you're not coming, it'll consider as a session. So you're just going to lose money. So what's the point? You know?
Right.
So you're saying what's different is that you're an all women's club, right? And you guys have a lot of trainers that hold people accountable. Do you guys have most of the equipment that most of the gyms do have?
Yes. And we developed a unique program for women that it's something that women don't know how to do. They just see like videos on YouTube and stuff like that, but they don't know how to do it in the right form. And we take care of their nutrition, measurements, pictures every 4 weeks to make sure that they're accountable. We plug them to our nutrition support group where all the clients send their daily meals. So me and the coaches, we can check that they're doing everything correctly. And if someone is like doing something that is not, we send her a message like, hey, you should switch this with this. It's a very, very personal journey with each and one of the clients. And usually when you sign up to a gym, you need to pay between $600 to $1,000 extra just for a nutrition program with a nutritionist.
Yeah.
And it's something that they get included.
So can I ask you, do you have to follow all these, like, you know, what you've set in place, or can people still just come and work out? Or is it the program that they need to follow? Like
a free workout?
It's not a gym that you can just come and use the equipment.
Okay.
You need to do either the personal training or the group classes. I mean, you can come and just enjoy the workouts, but I feel like there is no point of doing that without nutrition, because the results, let's be honest, it's what you eat.
Okay, so if you're going to be a part of the gym, then you would sign up for the nutrition and everything. And
you get everything complimentary, yeah.
Okay.
Our unlimited classes, it's $8 a day.
Wow.
Wait, how much?
$8 a day.
8?
Yes.
It's only $8?
Yes.
It's nice.
She'll be there tomorrow.
I know.
It's $200.
I mean-
She just blew my freaking mind. Really?
It's $250 a month.
That's it?
Which is $8 a day, and it's for a 6-month membership.
And
Personal
nutrition?
training and nutrition.
And personal training?
Personal training is between $50 to $65 a session. Depends on how many times a week you want to work out.
That's amazing.
Including the nutrition. That's what I'm saying. Like when people tell me I cannot afford it, I'm like, you spend on Starbucks
How
more
much?
than $8
Yeah.
a day.
Well, and if they only understood what it actually costs, typically just for the meal plans
Right.
itself, you don't get personal training and group and a gym. That is not a thing. You don't get community. No, you're paying way more than that just for the meal plans.
Right.
And half the time they don't work and they're starving you.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
it's true.
Yeah.
And my clients enjoy their meal plan.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
So there's gyms I go to where it's like they have the meals like frozen and then they microwave them. Have you guys seen that
You're
before?
joking.
No.
You're actually
true.
kidding.
I'm serious.
They have
Yes,
refrigerators.
Listen,
Yeah.
yes, I'm
No,
gonna
they're
do that. That's my next
frozen.
job. I'm gonna be the
No.
guy that's gonna pass
No.
out. Listen,
No,
hungry
no.
man for gyms.
I just
There you go.
yeah, stick that healthy meal
Can
in
I
the
say
microwave.
hungry women for gyms? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if you're going to market to women, I mean, you are wearing pink today. So
Dude, you know what they say about pink?
what?
I don't know. So go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about your startup and all this stuff through COVID, right? So you went through COVID and you were involved. You had to shut down, right?
Yes, we shut down for 3 months. But actually, since COVID started, our business like tripled itself.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so that was the one thing during COVID. Oh my God, I missed the gym so much to where I saw a friend of mine. I wish I would have known you, but I saw a friend of mine who was a trainer and he was training somebody. And I messaged him. I go, what are you doing? What's happening?
What are you
And
doing?
there's weights and there's machine. Like, what's happening? And he was doing it out of somebody's house. And I said, can I please come? And it literally helped me through that period because I needed it so bad. So like it actually tripled your business, you said?
Yes, because I start to dedicate my time on online programs. And I started to combine the nutrition with it. And that's how eventually you opened Too Good, because we used the nutrition products, which were like, they were great. Everyone saw amazing results. And yeah, so it just tripled our business.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And people after COVID, they were so afraid to go to like big gyms. They wanted something private. We sanitize everything. We clean.
How long were you guys shut down? I mean, were you ever shut down?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months. So during the 3 months, right, did you guys have to go through a lot of protocol as far as, you know, watching what they, because there's things that you had to do, right, to actually get you in a position to have people come in your facility. It couldn't just be, I mean, or is that not true? I don't know.
When we reopened, you
Yeah. Well, no, just like, you know, you look at the situation, you're like, okay, you got 3 months. All of a sudden, all these new regulations came out.
Yeah.
What did you guys do?
Masks,
Yeah.
which was terrible.
Was that challenging?
awful.
Yes. A lot of people stopped working out at the gym because they said, I don't want to work out with a mask.
You can't breathe.
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
And I agree. But
Yeah.
I had nothing like.
So overhead, is there like a certain, like when you started your gym, was there like, okay, I need X amount of dollars? A lot of people say don't take a loan, right? When you get in, you say, I just started. Some people get investors. Did you do it all on your own? Did you invest all the money on your own to get started?
In the beginning, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that pretty expensive? We don't have to give dollar, but
Yes.
is it?
Yes.
Well, and there's a big liability, yeah?
You look at the studio, and it's not like a big gym with like a lot of machines, but it's pretty expensive.
Well, I know the machines itself. I mean, they're thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
right? You get the ones with the name brand. They're sometimes $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
What's the name brand, Dan?
I don't know. Weeder.
Life Fitness.
Yep. Yeah. So what is
Very
it like
expensive.
in your industry? What is it like liability wise? Like, because obviously you have people coming into your facility, they're training, and the likelihood of, okay, if they get hurt, what does that look like for you as a business owner? Is that a large portion of the outgoing money on a monthly basis to run a gym?
They when they sign up, they sign like a waiver
Mm-hmm.
that everything that happens, it's on them.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but insurance wise, it's
Yeah,
not
we
huge.
do have insurance.
But it's not like a huge cost.
I-
That's
yeah.
actually interesting
That's
to
a good
know.
po-
'cause
that's a good point.
I always thought that if you own a gym, it's got to be stupid.
So somebody gets
No.
hurt in the gym. What's the process? What does somebody have to do? I mean, you guys aren't
Call the
liable.
doctor.
Oh my God, I never had this, and I don't want it to happen.
Then let's
so I
not
have no
speak of
idea.
it.
So
Yeah,
what
let's speak of it.
what would happen though? Like if somebody did, and look, knock on wood. Okay, that's too loud, but
Yeah, I was gonna
anyways,
say.
that's not like somebody at the door. Ding dong. So, but what would happen for somebody if that happened?
They're probably gonna sue the.
Can they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with a waiver, are you kidding me? We're talking about this. We're talking about the town that has the biggest, the highest number of personal injury cases in the freaking world.
Yeah, there's an attorney on
Like,
every billboard, right?
Let's be real here. Yeah, of course they're going to sue, but if you sign a waiver and they can find no fault that you guys didn't do anything wrong or broken
Yeah.
equipment or whatever, then I mean they're going to lose. They're going to waste their money, but
Right.
I mean it doesn't mean they're not going to try, and you have to pay too because you have to have
Yeah.
representation.
You know, it's funny. You look at those attorneys, and they're always like, "I'm not going to be like one of those big attorneys." You know what I mean? I'm not going to sue you like that or sue for money like that. And it's like they're still the same outcome. You know what I mean? It's always like some, you know, little thing or little quote or little thing that's like, "Oh well, you know, all these people do is just say it's all one thing. If you're in an accident, call me. If you've been hurt, call me." And it's just always the same thing. I mean, that's Vegas, right?
No, that is Vegas.
That
I
is
just
Vegas.
talked to my insurance company just the other day, and I go, they mentioned something, and I go, well, you know, I mean, personal injury here, and it never fails. Every insurance rep always says, "Oh yeah, Las Vegas. Oh yeah, personal injury it's the highest. It's the highest
Yeah.
pretty much in the nation." Yeah, it's stupid.
There's a
It's
little
really bad.
clause too. It's like the ones that say, "Oh, well, I'm not like the big celebrity,
No.
you know, attorneys, right? That do the injury."
Yeah.
But in the clause at the bottom, it protects them so they can still charge the same amount of money. So if you really look at that stuff,
Well,
it's
you know
all the
what?
same. Man.
I just had a really smart idea. On the way out, I'm going to trip and fall, and Dan, you're screwed.
Yeah, everybody, watch that. So let's go back. Okay, so what other things would you say is different from your business? Because we got to keep moving here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the housing market, but about your gym. Is there anything different besides it being women only? Is there anything else that you would promote?
They get the whole thing. It's
The whole enchilada.
thing. If you want to
Healthy one.
transform your body, you need to come to Bikini Fitness because it's very challenging to do it by yourself. You get all the guide, accountability, knowledge, everything that you need with us.
You ever go to the gym and you see those guys like when you're LVAC and they're working out. They're not even focused on their arms. They're working out and looking at some girl over there like this. And then all of a sudden they get closer and closer. It's like, hey, you think you could spot me over here?
Welcome to my life at Lifetime. Oh my God.
It's the truth though.
It is so true.
How many women are coming because of that reason?
Didn't you tell me today somebody was having, I don't know, something going on with
hold on.
With Lifetime Gym?
Okay, you're going to love this story because Dan called me earlier and we're talking and I was at the gym. Like it's 6 days a week. My butt is in the gym lifting, right? And I'm not the woman. When I first started, I was that woman. It made me so uncomfortable and I had to do it on my own. And my ex-husband, honestly, he was the biggest support in that and me getting over my nerves and being watched and all of that. But today, and I've been, like I told you, I competed. So I've been doing this for, I think it's like 7 years now. But I walk in today and I'm right before he calls me, there is this guy and it's Lifetime. Okay, just so
that's an expensive gym.
Just so everybody in Las Vegas knows, Lifetime is the bougie place. So you don't get to come in and be the meathead. So I walk in and I'm on the phone with my girlfriend Nicole, and I walk in and I hear this guy, and I look over and he's on the cable machines. He's doing pull-ups, right? But he's moaning and yelling like he's having sex. Like no, like a female having sex, not like a man.
Oh, really?
No, it was. Oh gosh,
my
I could
God.
do it.
Did he do like a hump in the air or no?
No, he really was. You guys, he was just like, So the GM actually had to go over and pull him down and say, "Listen, you're out. No, you can't do that here." And it took like 8 guys. Because he was screaming.
Oh, I thought he was like a big
yelling.
guy doing it. Like he was like some big meathead.
He was pretty ripped. But it took 8 other men with the GM to get him to leave because he was yelling.
No.
I'm sorry. But the only reason I felt comfortable as a woman was because there were so many men around. But otherwise, as a woman, those situations are really uncomfortable because once in a while you get those crazy men in there screaming sex noises out at people.
Oh,
It's like that. It's like that male lion call.
Why don't you like?
Yeah. How is that?
Yeah. What does that sound like? what is that? That's
he's trying to put out the vibe. You know what I mean? He's trying to like, hey, I'm here. Like,
So what's the noise?
Yeah.
So I know.
What is that noise so we can stay away from it?
So, anyways, let's go back. So, Aviva, thank you for coming on. I want to ask you one other question, and this is it. We got to transition to Shannon over here, but. Housing market, right? Now, you're from Israel. That doesn't mean you don't know what's going on here. We all know that prices are crazy amounts here in Las Vegas. They're appreciated, year over year, 20%. What do you feel about, how do you feel about this housing market? Do you feel like it's really scary with all the inflation and everything going on?
Yes, because you don't know if you should buy a house now or wait or buy a house fast or wait. So
what do you hear out there on the streets though? Is it like, hey, buy now because if you don't get into it, you're stuck?
So there's 2 type of people. The people that say that it's just gonna go up, and the people that say that it's gonna drop down like in a year.
So you think it's going to crash, or do you think it's going to keep going up? Look, you're not an economist. We're not putting you on the spot.
What's your perception?
But what do you think based upon what you see is going on here?
I think we saw it in the past. Everything that goes up eventually goes down. Mm-hmm. So I think it might go down.
Okay, a crash,
eventually.
Or do you think it's just going to be a correction?
No, it's just a correction.
Just a correction. Mm-hmm. So you don't think that... I feel that there's a lot of people that have a lot of confidence in the economy. They definitely see rates going up, scarcity, and we could talk to you about this with real estate. I don't know. I mean, to me, I just don't feel that people are stopping buying homes or just moving. Now, gas is crazy high right now, right?
Insane.
So I can't see why people are still driving.
I just did it last weekend.
What's that?
I just drove last weekend.
And how was that? I mean, what did it cost you to fill up your tank?
Well, it cost me, I think, like $115.
Wow.
I have a 4-door sedan.
I pay $120.
But I also put 91 in. Like, she's a turbo. She's pretty. I got to make sure she's got the good gas. But it's still, but it was cheaper. It was actually cheaper to do that and have the freedom and flexibility because it wasn't like we were going across the country. But it was cheaper to do that and pay that gas than to pay for 2 airline tickets plus the travel, the Uber to go from Salt Lake to Park City. So that it made more sense for us to drive. That's the only reason. But otherwise, it was pretty decent.
I mean, I went up and it could have been, I don't know if it was like an RV, but it was like $450. I took a picture of it.
To fill it up.
Yeah, to fill it up. I think it was an RV, or maybe they fill up a boat. I'm not sure, but I've never seen $450 somebody left after they filled up the gas. So I don't know. I think there's housing inflation part of it. I mean, what do you think? Do you guys think there's housing inflation? I mean, I don't know, because it's like we can all give our opinion on it, but the mindset of somebody that doesn't know the market, I'm interested. I'm very interested in seeing, is this a healthy market or it's an unhealthy market? I don't know. What do you think? Is it healthy? I mean, you're into fitness. Is it healthy or is it not healthy?
Okay, that's not your job.
I don't know how to answer you.
How is it in the commercial side? Do you own your facility, or
No,
is it
I
rented?
rent.
How
Rent
is it from that perspective? Have you seen a difference from a rental perspective in the commercial?
They raised the prices a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
Not me.
Not a
Thank
big
God.
deal.
It wasn't big.
No,
That's good. That's good.
not a big deal, but yeah, it's going up.
So you guys, you're leasing.
Yeah.
You leasing. They raised your lease.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Yes.
And what about the cost of things? Is those things going up as well?
Oh yeah, like weights, for example. I purchased to the gym like 2 dumbbells of 70 pounds each,
Wow.
and it cost me $300.
Whoa.
Yes.
And what was it prior?
A
range, anyways.
So in COVID, I looked at those weights, and it was around $120.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I feel like after COVID, all the gym equipment got ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, because people were just wanting to work out.
And you couldn't even find it during COVID. I remember trying to somewhat build a gym at home, and I just resorted to a Peloton and bands. It was super sad.
I couldn't even.
A Peloton is sad.
I know. I ended up being really skinny. I feel like I lost all my muscle.
What do you think about it, Tabitha? Do you think we're going to be in a recession here, or what do you think?
I don't think necessarily a recession. I think things are going to always come up and go down. I mean, that's how the market always is. You just got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
And that being said, there's a lot of people that are going into the market not knowing what they're doing, and they are participating in the overbidding and things like that. But it's got to be on the right property. It's got to be the right area. Otherwise,
so you don't feel like there's housing inflation happening today, like where it's just. I mean, it's part of it, but I mean, you don't feel that we're going to a place where we've never been. Obviously, we are, but you're going to keep it going. Basically.
We're already there with the rentals big time. So the leasing rates are highly inflated.
Yeah.
It makes more sense for a lot of people to actually purchase if they can than to lease, and they don't realize that until they see the difference in the numbers.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a leasing position, like you don't really have another option.
Yeah.
Necessarily. So they know there's only so many properties, and everyone's going after the same ones. So
there's like nothing right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like literally, you call the second after, and like the property has already got a couple applications on it.
So we're gonna move to Shannon here. We're gonna stick around a little bit because I want to talk to you about a little bit about the real estate market. She's gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna ask her some questions. So Shannon, you have some information about business consulting. I know you were kind of looking at things.
What am I looking at, Dan?
I don't know.
Please do tell.
I don't know. You were looking at a phone, like
that was my son. I can't.
Oh.
You guys, my little one can't help but message me 24/7.
That's a mother thing. I'm still my age. I still can't help it. I message my
mother
mom at
help.
midnight.
Yeah,
I'm like, Mom, you up? I need to talk
I
to you.
believe it. Like I honestly, I'm like, and I'm thinking it's got to be an emergency. The mom part, right? We were just talking about this before. The mom part of me, it's got to be an emergency. Can I have a sleepover Friday night at my friend Kash's house? I'm like, I'm on a freaking podcast right now, kid.
Yeah.
What's going on? Anyways, so actually, and it was funny. You asked me earlier, what do you want to talk about?
Right.
And there's been this thing, and I want this to be a group discussion, especially because everybody here is entrepreneurial, business minded. But
Women. I'm just playing.
Well, are you putting yourself into the same
I wore pink
class?
today. That's why I did that. I wore pink.
You guys,
Men wear
he just dropped a bomb on us. We didn't know. So anyways,
Don't tell.
I will not, sir. Your secret is safe with me. But there's a common thing. So in my business consulting, one of the things that I do, especially with an entrepreneur that wants to build out those next stages, is looking at who is your ideal client, your ideal partner, investor. Like, what do those people look like, right? Like, you have an ideal client, Aviva, with your business. And one of the things, though, that I've recognized, and a lot of people who don't necessarily get to where they want to go, is creating that outline of who gets to be in your life. And when I say life, I mean business, because my business is part of intertwined into who I am, is having boundaries and knowing these are the things that I require, and here's my limitation. Here's when I say no. And I see a lot of people, especially women, people pleasers. They're always people pleasing, and you have people that come into your business, whether clients or partners or employees, that cross those lines. And how do you create those healthy boundaries? And how do you make sure? I was talking about
Contracts.
it earlier. Right. Well, contracts, but it could be, what if it's even a friend that comes in that impacts you in a way that derails you on your business because there's a bunch of drama and you're not paying attention or putting as much effort? Those things matter. And I think entrepreneurs, especially that first year, you were working 9 to 9. Did you have time for drama?
No.
Did you have time for negativity?
Nobody has time for that.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's really ensuring that when we create an outline for our business, you can't just have a business plan. You can't just have marketing. You also need to know, who am I seeking? What are my limitations? What are my boundaries? And when they get crossed, what do I do with it? And as women, especially, being able to just like go, actually, no, I'm not okay with that. It doesn't mean I'm mean. It doesn't mean I'm bad. It doesn't mean I'm a bitch, because that's a common phrase.
I want to tell you something.
Please do. I'd like to hear your experience.
I used to have trainers that signed on contracts that non-compete, and they cannot copy what I do or the concept, or steal clients, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And eventually it happened.
Yep.
Some of them tried to copy me. It didn't went well, and then they quit. And some of them just like seeking like to steal clients from Bikini Fitness. And I can sue them, but I feel like it's a bad karma,
Yeah.
Well, but I think you have to have boundaries.
Yes.
And
yes.
people sometimes cross those boundaries.
Right.
And
Even your friends.
Nobody wants to do that. But
Right.
Exactly.
It happened to me. I trained my friend because I was drowning in work. And I was like, I need help. I'll train you. Can you help me? Blah, blah, blah. Once she got the knowledge that she needed, she pretty much was like, bye.
Yep.
And guess what she was doing on social media? Doing what I taught her with my brand on her shirt.
I right now have somebody that I trained how to do social media and marketing and branding for his business. And he's 100% being me in a male fashion online. Wow. And for me, like, it's not worthwhile to go after somebody, right? Because in my contract, same thing. I cover myself, but and for me, it's not even, obviously there's going to be those big issues with people. Once in a great while, you're going to run across one that you go, yeah, I'm calling the attorney, right? But I agree with you. I think karma and the way that we show up, but we can have boundaries, and we can verbally express those and be firm in them and be okay with saying, this person is not for me, or this client isn't for me, or this employee is not for me. I can do it in a really like loving way and a professional way. But when we don't allow ourselves that space to know what's crossing the line in our life and in our business, it keeps us stuck. You could only go so far. And this around a lot of things that we talk about. Like if you're not willing to grow yourself in that fashion and to have a voice and to go, you know what? I'm never going to do that again. And moving forward, Calisi's experience, it's a perfect example. Okay, moving forward, I'm not going to do that. Here's my boundary. I learned what I don't want. So moving forward, how am I going to make sure that doesn't happen? And when it does, what do I do about it?
Same thing with the Yelp. Remember what I went through a couple weeks ago?
Oh, it was harsh.
Someone who never even went into my business wrote a bad review because she doesn't like me personally. She lives in Texas.
Is there jealousy involved? You
Oh,
think?
yeah, 100%. What are you talking about?
I had to do a gag order, so I went through the attorney this way but guess what? She's a hairstylist, and I could easily call her company and say, and they would fire her because she's just an employee. I'm the boss. No one's going to fire me.
Right.
So, but did I do that to her? No. I said, you know what? I'm going to do the gag order through an attorney.
Nice.
Sent her the letter. And I said, you know what? She has 2 kids to feed. I'm going to let karma take care of her, and God, it's in his hands.
That's me. But sometimes you just
it's angry.
Like, every time that I don't sue someone, and I have all the rights to do it, I'm like,
yeah, you kind of have to swallow it because at the end of the day, my business is if it's gonna fall apart by 1 or 2 bad reviews that someone didn't even walk into my business,
then you weren't doing it to begin with.
Exactly. So I left a nice comment saying, hey, you've never been here before. I've never seen you on the computers. If this was a problem, can I see the receipt? Of course, crickets, because it's not true.
Right.
Did it hurt me? It killed me because for 7 years I've had 5 stars and now I'm at 4.
Yeah, but do you have to call them and be like, hey, how do I get that?
Oh, you know how much it is?
Huh.
$1,000 each bad review.
Wow.
I called Yelp.
Yeah.
Wow.
But here's the thing: is going through. I know she's like, she's
I'm hyperventilating.
Right.
She's about to do her workout.
But here's the thing: this is why we create boundaries in our businesses. This is exactly why, because when we start to see somebody, because we want it, like that situation. Obviously, you can't. There's really not much you can do, right? But on average, if we created the boundaries to begin with, and we didn't let people step over, then typically we're not going to have those big issues pop up.
Right.
And we're not going to drown in it.
After every trainer that, let's say, did whatever she did, I changed my contracts. So now my contracts are very, very, I can say even scary. I have new trainers that came and they were like, ooh. I'm like, I'm sorry. I had
from experience.
Same thing. Yeah. My contract gets updated quite often because every time I experience something that crosses it, I'm like, oh, boundary, stick it in my contract.
Yes.
Right. But I think that that's a really important thing to talk about. If you're an entrepreneur, even if you're independent, let's say you're doing real estate, right? We have a lot of people in the real estate industry. Even within that, you have to know your boundaries and your partnerships and who you want to work with, what kind of business you want to do, what does your branding look like in your marketing, and don't let anybody cross over that, because the moment that you do, you just open the floodgates for more of it.
I think there's a level of emotion that you have to with emotional intelligence, because if you, let's say that I was in a position where, okay, I had a client and they went to somebody else at the last minute, very frustrating because it's working for free, go through that process. And it's similar for you guys. It's like you got to have that emotional intelligence where you can't lose it. There's probably times when you're like, I'm going to just let this person have it, dude.
You want to, but you can't.
You know what?
Professionally, you cannot.
Not on clients. And I agree. But here's the difference. I do believe that when you're in partnership with somebody, that I don't believe in letting loose, but I do believe in being firm. If somebody has really crossed the line, it is time to put your foot down and stand up for what you believe in and who you are and what your branding is and what you're trying to make in this world. And if it doesn't fall in alignment and it's bad for you and your business, no, put your foot down. I'm sorry. And then call me a bitch. I don't care.
No, but do you think running a business as a woman, you guys are all business owners, right? Everybody here is an entrepreneur. Everybody's doing their own deal.
Yep.
Is it harder to make it because you got to I wouldn't say you got to pop your chest, but you got to there's a lot of challenges. Stand firm, right? You got to stand up.
But
just maybe people think that they can overtake you, or they can maybe manipulate the situation a little bit.
Well, that's the key word. Think. They think they can. But, you just got to be strong and firm and say, I'm not accepting this. Contracts are good. I have a couple contracts myself. And like you said, you just have to, you learn from every person that screws you over. You are learning. And
there's this point where as a woman, here's the difference. I don't think it's easier or harder for a man versus a female to be successful. I don't think that that's the thing. The thing with women is that we have to play so many different roles. We have to be so many different things. We're the mom, and then we're the spouse, and then we're the friend, and then we're the business owner. And especially in the business sector, when we do stand firm, I mean, listen, I don't know many men that when they stand firm in their boundaries or what they're requiring or asking of somebody or saying no to, that they're called a bitch afterwards.
Yeah.
They're not called that.
I got the solution to it.
Oh, God, don't be a smart ass.
No, I do. I got the solution to it.
Look at his face, you guys.
I'm interested.
Here's the solution, okay? Aviva needs to start boot camp and we can have, maybe have ladies go there and then learn how to fight for themselves. Right? G.I. Jane 2, right?
And
Right?
Altogen.
Wait,
yes.
do you want me to come and I'll teach them how to verbally do it?
There you go. You can train till verbally.
Like G.I. Jane 2.
Well, you know
Right?
what? It's funny though, because do you know how many times I've had clients that will message me because we'll talk about, okay, this is what we're going to do and this is what, or if somebody you need to let go of or whatever that is. And they'll message me and they're like, okay, how do I say this? What do I do? I'm like, all right. So I've drafted emails for people. Like, no joke.
I need you in my life.
I'll draft emails because I am really good at it. I can be very corporate, but very direct. So I know exactly what to say and how to say it to ensure that everybody's covered. It's safe. You're also not ruining your reputation and you're not being overly emotional, but you're getting the point across.
So what's the overall final message?
Boundaries. That was it. Jen.
Boundaries.
Did you
Okay.
get that? Did
Yes,
you get that?
let me write this down.
Okay, go. I'm just going to speak into the mic so you can hear me.
Real quick.
Okay, boundaries, sir.
Don't cross boundaries. Let me write it on my hand.
Yeah,
real
you should
quick.
probably write that down. Be
Can
careful,
I ask
Jen.
a question to everyone at the table?
Yeah.
So, a lot of times I see that as women, we are used in, I guess, whatever business we're involved by our face. So I've seen that come across where you're like the advertisement for the company, and we know for specific reasons why, kind of. So where do you draw the line when that's occurring?
Right here.
Using your
image, basically your image for the company, but it's not really benefiting you necessarily directly, but it's benefiting the company.
You don't. I mean, here's okay.
What do you do?
Do you want me to tell you something?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Okay. So there's been actual studies done, and people are more likely to know, like, trust, and purchase from somebody who takes care of themselves and presents themselves well and is good looking. It's truth. It's fact. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Like, I'm not. It just is.
I believe in
it.
I make money.
It is a psychological portion of how we purchase because we trust those people more. It's just if somebody walks in like flannel pants and a t-shirt, and then Aviva walks in and that, I'm going to be like, I'm going to go talk to her. I think she's an expert.
She takes care of herself.
She takes care of herself. Yeah. I'm going to trust that this woman has it together. So, and same for males. I'm more likely to buy from a male who takes care of himself and presents himself well.
Wears pink shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. A polo with a hat. No, shut up. I'm just kidding. I'm totally giving you a hard time.
No, it's good because I'm sold.
He's already sold you guys. That's the red hair. But it's true. I don't know. I see nothing
Same thing
wrong
with my
it.
brows,
Yeah.
too. If I had shitty brows, they'd be like, no, well, your brows they don't look great. So they're not going to want me to touch their face. Same thing with my lips, too.
And
that's
your
why,
skin,
yeah,
everything.
This is why I never wear makeup, because every time I do wear makeup, I have to start wiping things off because everybody wants to see my product. So if I didn't have great brows or good pigmentation on my lips, how would I sell my product?
Yeah.
I think it's the boundaries, but I also think it's the way you carry yourself.
I mean, if you go straight sex, then yeah, but it's a different conversation. If you're making it sexual, no, there's a difference between presenting yourself and showing your face and looking beautiful or handsome or whatever that is, and selling the sex part. There's two different things, because some people cross that line. That's a different thing. When you're just like showing
we
it
talked
all.
about that last time, the real estate.
Yeah.
Hi, I sell houses.
The memes, there's a lot of memes around that.
But you got to understand, I mean, they sell. Like, I mean, people
I would do it.
Like,
I would
guys will be like, hey, I want to, hang out. And you're like, let's go buy a house, though. Okay. And then all of a sudden you're walking away with 20 G's.
But here's the thing, though, is that and I actually joked about this. I know.
It actually can work against you.
They can work against you.
People get super jealous. So
and they don't believe that you're smart.
They don't. You look cute. Like then somebody doesn't want to do business with you.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I was just talking when I was in Park City. I ended up, whatever, at this place, and there's all these people from all around, and it was fun. And I talked to everybody. I love people. But I was talking to a guy who's in wealth management. There was another one, there was 5 of them. I'm talking to him. And there was this one girl in there. She was gorgeous. She had a great body. She was singing karaoke, and she was in it. She was like Shania Twain over there. And she was great. But
who's Shania Twain?
So I'm ignoring you. But the common thing was everybody was going, really? Stop. Just stop. You don't have to do all of that to be beautiful and to be be successful. You don't have to do those things. And ultimately, it usually ends up working against you unless you're legitimately trying to sell yourself in that way. But from a professional standpoint, I see nothing wrong with using, if you look good and you take care of yourself and present yourself well, nothing wrong with that. Utilize it. Brand the shit out of yourself. But the sex part, when you show up like that, no, it's short-lived. Nobody takes you seriously long-term.
Really?
Really, Dan?
Because I really feel like there's a lot of intelligent women in here.
Yeah, and they're not selling sex in any way, shape, or form right now. No, not one woman here has presented themselves in a sexual manner.
I didn't say you did.
But
I just said I feel like there's a lot of intelligence in this room.
That's not what you said. You said
Beauty and brains. That's the key. It's a lethal combination.
I completely missed the point, Calisi.
I got it. It's transitioning to
you guys.
boundaries.
We're kicking Dan off the show. He's officially out, you guys. It's no longer the French workbench.
It's the ladies' workbench.
Yeah.
Get the hell out, men.
He's done. He said we're gonna wear bikinis later and take pictures and put it on the podcast.
Peepholes. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, so let's go.
I'm just done with you. I'm divorcing you. Okay, I'm done.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about real estate. And ladies, I want you guys to know, you guys can chime in. This is not like, hey, one person just because they're a real estate agent or two people So I want to talk with Tabitha. Tabitha, you're out in the field. What are the challenges you're seeing with some of these buyers? Are they just giving up altogether?
Yeah, a lot of them are getting very, very frustrated. They don't understand why they're having to go above the list price and they're $30,000 above. And as I was talking about earlier, the appraisal gap. Well, why do I have to pay $30,000 more? You don't have to, but if you want this property, do you want this property? Is it worth this much to you or not? So also with appraisals coming in so low, it's causing a huge gap. And with that cash having to come up at the closing, it's causing a lot of deals to fall through.
Can I ask you something? The appraisals, if they're coming in low, is it that the homes are worth the appraised amount or they just haven't caught up with the speed of the market right now?
It depends on who you ask. So I guess the value is within who you're talking to.
Right.
So that's where it comes down to how much is it worth to you. And for me, with my clients, when they ask my opinion or I give it, I'll let them know what do I think,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Well, they have to go off of what's sold too. Like you have to prove what's going on in the area.
Comps.
Some comps, right? And sometimes it's like, well, this house is a little different, right? And you can't really say, well, this is just like a cookie cutter home. You're starting to get into that $1.5 million, where that's the top, that's the starting point for the jumbo market or the market where it's that upper tier. And when you look at what these comps are coming back at, a lot of them support it, a lot of them don't.
They don't.
They just don't.
They haven't been supporting it. And there's so few properties that everyone's bidding higher and higher, which is changing the comps right there.
But if we have a dip that comes, a correction, then the people that are paying the 20, 30, 40,000 over, are they going to be slightly under in their value? Are we going to start seeing that?
Yeah, some people are definitely going to be upside down, and then there's others that are going to be completely fine.
Yeah.
Then there's people, it's smart that they went and got the property when they did, because there's not going to be anything for a while as in what they're looking for. So it just depends. There's people that'll find a property in one day and others that are looking for months.
And is this all over the country? I talked to somebody earlier, and he's in Austin, and he said the market out there is the same. They have no homes. It's crazy. It's inflated. Is this everywhere?
I know in Florida, I have a cousin in Florida and she's purchasing right now too. She's having like the same issue. And so everyone's kind of confused as to what's going on.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You guys, so I think the appreciation is a big problem. I think it's going to continue. You guys have anything else to say about that?
We don't, I mean.
Yeah, no.
I thought you guys are in the market. You guys aren't in the market right now?
No, I own my house.
Oh. How about you, Aviva? When are we going to do this whole thing?
I rent right now, but I do want to buy a house, but the house that I want to buy is super, super expensive.
Are we talking $1 million, $2 million, $3 million?
So
give me the ballpark.
You're going to sit out. You're going to sit out for a while until it corrects or levels out so you can get what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of waiting to see, because at some point it went down a little bit, right? I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so we always get slower in the winter months. That's for sure. We go up always in the summer months. So it's always like a good time to purchase when you're looking as a buyer, like October, November, December.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, we are looking to expand to Miami as well, to open Bikini Fitness in Miami. So maybe we're thinking about buying a house there, which I know is crazy as well. I have friends in Miami, and they're like, it's getting wild. It's so expensive.
It's crazy, isn't
Everywhere.
it? Well,
Yes.
and we're talking, and we just mentioned states where people are flocking to them because of state taxes and, you know, affordability. But now we're just like creeping on up there. So I don't know, but it's still better than going to California or anywhere else.
What do you think? It's going to go down?
No, I think it's going to stay pretty steady the way it is, especially more of the median market. It's definitely going to continue to keep its value 100%.
Really?
I don't see that many properties coming on like to change the market anytime soon.
So if there was an influx in the market of homes, would that then change the trajectory of where the home prices are going? Would it bring it down? What would that look like? Let's say.
Definitely, because then people wouldn't be fighting over like the one property that they are now and overbidding the way they are, just to be able to get a home.
Yeah.
So.
And I think
So let's
there's
just get a lot of houses.
a lot of
Can we do that?
challenges, right? No, there's a lot of challenges. And then where do you go after that, right? Let's say you sell your house.
Where do
You
you
got to
go?
upsize or you got to upgrade, let's say. You got to buy a new home now because what are you going to buy at that point? What are you going to sell your house and downgrade?
My parents, perfect example. They have a half acre and they could sell it. They could make a lot of money, but they're like, well, where are we going to go though? Where are we going to go and get this kind of property to put a motorhome and enclosed trailers and all that stuff and still be in town and it be affordable? They're like, no, we're just going to sit on it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people reinvesting and kind of doing something more temporarily. So like a year, we're going to go and do this, like live in this home for this long, turn around and lease it back out because we need the properties to lease. We have a shortage of those as well. So,
yeah.
And then they wait, like you're waiting kind of, and then they'll grab that property when they see it come on.
Yeah, we checked a couple houses and before even like, let me think about it. Like
It's
it was
gone.
not even like 2 hours.
Mhm.
We're calling like the agent and she's like, oh no, it's gone already. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
It
crazy.
was not even a cute house. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, they're gone quick, and they
Like,
have
wow.
multiple offers.
So after 3 or 4 like this, that like we literally stepped out the door, didn't say yes at the spot. They sold the house. I'm like, no, I can't do it. It's too much pressure.
It's too emotional. There's too much emotion involved. Me too. I'm the same way. I'm like, no, I don't want to be a part of that right now.
Yeah.
No thanks. No thanks.
So we got to end the show, ladies.
Oh, we do.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it's been a very good round table of topics here. I guess it's a square or maybe more of a rectangle table, but not a round one. But we've gone across the room. I want to say a couple of things here. First off, I want to say for everybody that's come on this show, we have the utmost respect for you guys. We do want to always put you in a good light. Thank you guys all for coming on. That's always been on the show. So you guys, we just do appreciate you and we love you. If anybody out there wants to come on the show and promote their business, I would love for you guys to come on the show. We'd love to promote you in a really good light. And, you know, we're only here because you guys, right? We're only here because everybody out there gives us the opportunity to talk. And hopefully we're giving you guys nuggets, good information, knowledge out there to help you guys make better decisions. Business consulting, real estate, Blade, right? Also for anybody that wants to go to the gym and work out like G.I. Jane too.
What's the age on
Women.
that? What is the age for your gym, by the
The
way?
age,
Like
I
minimum.
actually have girls that are 14 years old.
Okay.
Not a lot, but they come with their moms, so
Okay.
they like to do it like together. But the range is between 23 till 50.
Okay. Cool.
Nice. So guys, we're going to end the show. I want to say this too. Sorry about being late. That's my fault because I had a lot of prep to do, but we'll be on time next Tuesday. Also on Saturday, we have a great show. We got a builder coming in. And for Shannon Miller, Tabitha, Felicia, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. Remember.
I'm sorry, my bad. And then also Aviva. I want to say thank you for coming on. And guys, if you guys have any questions, please leave the comments in the comment section. Like the channel, subscribe. We love you guys. Please help us out. We're trying to get to 1,000. We'll see you guys at the next one.
Go.
Thank you so much for being with us. You can check us out at www.bikinifitness.club to see all our packages and everything that we offer. And you can also go to the Instagram page, bikini_fitness1, to see what we do, to see all of our results, and just follow us.
Did you enjoy the show?
Yes, it was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm going to see you again.
Absolutely. You come back. Thank you so much, Aviva.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the French Workbench podcast. You can find us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to find out all the information on real estate and financing here in Las Vegas. Also, check us out on our LV Home Professionals website. You can find your future home there, a lot of good information, and you can find us on